Good afternoon, everyone. Joshua Kaiser here, presenting my critical assignment slideshow here for the last discussion post. Hope everybody enjoyed this course as much as I did. For my presentation, I chose the example number 5, which was the 2014 Silver Anvil Award winner for AAA's campaign against distracted driving, the good old cell phone that I think we're all guilty of driving or looking at some point during. So here we go. Distracted driving was the overview and the basis for this individual campaign here. I did a quick SWOT analysis that I'll go over with you. We have evaluation and analysis of the campaign itself, the models and the theories that were used, and I'll wrap it up from there. So distracted driving, the campaign focused on the cognitive distractions, and what they focused on was the hands-free models and ensuring that the different facets of technology that is advancing in cars, trying to prove that it actually does distract us. And even though it makes our lives more convenient and ease of access, it still provides some form of a distraction while we're driving. The hands-free, their slogan was hands-free is not risk-free. In the development plan and the research, AAA partnered with the University of Utah and conducted several different cognitive measures in different studies to understand the actual risk assessment and evaluate whether or not the actual hands-free devices were helpful or hurtful in the car. As they developed the campaign, they took a look at the different features and facets. And what they did was put together this model of driving and having users utilize the different features, whether it be the hands-free to change the radio, using their cell phone, the talk to text. And ultimately, what they found is that at some given point, using the hands-free devices, all drivers were distracted. They did this huge national media campaign that put together a bunch of different avenues and aspects and really looked at the individualized pieces and reached out and set up an entire campaign in Washington, D.C. at FedEx Field and brought together automakers, Apple, Verizon, AT&T, Ford, Toyota, brought all of them together to kind of campaign this avenue of what technology was doing to drivers, in that they had a national media boot camp where they controlled what the media could ask. It was a very one-way, staged and prepped production in which there were only certain questions that could be asked that aligned with the values that they were trying to instill within their performance. The advanced briefings I found to be the quite interesting fact where they actually gave all of these major conglomerates and auto groups and tech giants what they were going to present, the facts that they had found, and actually gave them the opportunity to present future public relations campaigns against the actual claims. In the SWOT analysis, the strengths looked at, they had the support of the National Highway Traffic Safety Association, supported AAA's claims. They had set this up in Washington, D.C., and had access to national and global media outlets, which only promoted the campaign. They had 400 plus clubs in the country distributing and disseminating this information to the public. Their research capabilities and their ability to test out of this and do a live demonstration is what truly set the campaign over the top. And with AAA being backed by the National Highway, they have clear credibility and backing from the public. Their weaknesses, which I found was quite interesting, is they only had a $40,000 budget assigned from AAA to be able to do this. There was a lack of experience in the research unit at the University of Utah, being students and not fully fledged in the art of campaigning this and putting together these actual studies. And I think the number one weakness that they had was battling tech and auto giants. How does a small, AAA is massive, but not in the avenues and aspects of having Toyota and Apple on your heels. And lastly, the lack of influence or interest, where it was not necessarily a popular idea to debate this. Their opportunities were the mass media coverage they opened, having the outlets in national DC and having in Washington, D.C., excuse me, and having the opportunity to have national media coverage from ABC, CNBC, Fox, all of those currently located in Washington, D.C. and Washington, D.C., due to our White House being there and the governmental access allowed for a national-wide campaign. There was advising to a national level. It increased government support by getting the federal government to step in and have one of their subsidiaries it's associate themselves with this, and it gave increased funding at that national level. The threats that I found within it were the advanced literature, and by giving your opponent the opportunity to see what you're presenting, Apple and these Apple, AT&T, Verizon, Toyota, Ford can put together some collective and collaborative campaigns to resist these opportunities here and present campaigns at a large, grander scale, and they have the influence of the audience and public. Threats were a campaign failure where it just wouldn't be received well, and retaliatory attacks from the industry, so will be facing campaigns that will come back against them. As I evaluated and analysis a successful campaign, the University of Utah research validated the claims that distracted driving is caused by these entertainment information systems. The hosted driving course and visual deployment to FedEx Field gave them an astounding visual aspect to really give a live video feed of people swerving in lanes and the dangers that are actually caused by hands-free devices. It provided media outlets at a national level, and the media boot camp and control was their successful portion of maintaining complete control of this event and not allowing challenges to be happen. And they challenged the technological advances, which we all want something new and shiny. We all love technology and we all love the ease of access that it gives us in our life, but it truly proved that hands-free is not risk-free. They used the press agency and publicity. They pulled the publicity stunts out, and by challenging and giving a media outlet that they were challenging Toyota, Ford, it gave that notoriety in the public, and they did it like complete press agents, just like our press secretary does. They held a campaign, they held a conference, and posed their points. They provided public information, which is not always greatly received. However, when it comes to safety in vehicles of families, people tend to listen. And it was two-way symmetrical. Although they controlled what the media could ask and the questions that would be defined, they opened the line of communication and had a successful dialogue and really challenged the automakers and tech giants to really look at the ability to avoid distractions. So overall, the program was completely effective and it achieved their desired goal and has only continued to be an embattlement for AAA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Association, because technology from 2014 has only gotten better. So I hope you enjoyed my post and I look forward to seeing everybody else's.